Welcome back. This is still the press on KAFTAN television, and we are reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. Now, I've been joined by a guest in the studio to analyze some of the headlines that made it to our national dailies. And joining me in the studio this morning is Richard Oriri, and Richard Oriri is a journalist. It's a pleasure to have you join me this morning.
It's my pleasure.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
Very well, thank you. Now let me start before we see some of the headlines that made it to our national dailies. Let me start by saying, Nigerian, we hate you. Have you learned our reverted old national anthem yet?
Even this morning before coming to this play, I have to recite it.
Oh, wow.
But, it's still difficult, but with time, all of us will get used to it. Yes.
But in this whole reverted thing, yes, we could see from the videos that we got from the National Assembly during the joint section where President Bola Tinubu signed that into law. Some of the lawmakers couldn't even recite it. So Nigerians are now like asking, how important is this reverted old national anthem? Whether old, new now. Do you see it as of any importance?
The problem we are having in the country is that majority of our elites, the elites in power, they don't even have value for our national symbols. And national anthem is supposed to be the directive principles of governance in the country. But before now, even the simplest national anthem, that's the previous one now, Arise O Compatriot. Majority of our lawmakers, they don't even know how to recite it. I could remember during Obasanjo administration when a minister was denied screening at the National Assembly because he was unable to recite the national anthem. Wow. So, talk more of this that was just introduced in the last 24 hours. So, the problem there is there. Majority of them, if you ask them now, even if you put that as a law, that if you cannot recite it, don't enter the chamber. 90% of our senators and House of Representative members will not enter the chamber.
Exactly, right.
So that is it. So, in any case, here we are. It has been reintroduced, and we have to abide by it. And my major concern is that the message that the anthem carries, if we can abide by it, that is when I will be happy.
Okay.
Because the message are too heavy, they are too strong.
Even the one that the previous one were they abided by.
If they abide by, if the previous anthem was respected, I don't think we will even be where we are. Because if it was respected, the national value would have been so high, more than what we have today. But today we don't have national value at all. And my concern majorly, even when I was analyzing it yesterday on the same platform, I told Nigerians that the last stanza is my major concern. That last stanza is so strong. The first two stanzas, we're just talking about advising ourselves as citizens to see how we can live harmoniously together as brothers and as sisters. But that last stanza, you are directing the prayers to God. And anything that has made you to be talking to your God directly, you are talking to the most superior being. And you ought to, and for no reason at all, that you are not supposed to give serious respect. So if it is Muslims, you are directing it to your Allah. If it's a Christian, you are directing it to your God. So I think we should see that part as the part that will truly make us to see Nigeria as a country that we all join hands together to build and leave better legacy to the generations yet unborn. Because that part says we should talking to God to help you so that no citizen, no freeborn of this country will be oppressed. And if there is that avenue that no freeborn of Nigeria, a citizen of this country, is not being oppressed, there's no how we will not have peace. Exactly. There's no how we will not have development. Because the reason we are having some of these crises all over the country today is because of suppression, oppression, intimidation, injustice everywhere. Inequality, clear inequality. Yes, inequality is you can't have a complete equality everywhere in every society.
All fingers are not equal.
In every society, and that's why we have a developed world. underdeveloped world and developing world.
Exactly.
So we can't match together. So but if we can respect that part to see that Nigerians are not being oppressed, then the country will be happy with us, and the younger generation, the coming generations, will be happy that we are leaving good legacy behind. And for everyone.
All right. Now, viewers, a gentle reminder that our phone lines are now open for you to call in to give in your contribution and ask a question. Now, quickly, before I touch some of the headlines that made it to our national dailies, 2 days ago was President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 1 year in office. On May 29, 2023, he assumed office as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and just 2 days ago marked 1 year in office. Now, give and take, how would you assess or how would you analyze Mr. President, how would you analyze his administration so far?
To be frank, 1 year is not enough for the assessment of this current administration. 1 year is not enough, but it's enough. Okay. 12 months is too big time for one to look into the governance of the country. As we have been looking around in the 36 states, seeing what some state governors who have passion for development, they have done so far. If you go to Anambra, you see the industrialization going on in Anambra. If you go to Akwa Ibom, you see what the governor is doing. And if you go to a place like even Delta is trying to, Lagos State is as well trying. And most other states, even if you go to Zamfara, the Zamfara State governor is trying, despite the challenges of insecurity around that geography. But coming to Nigeria as a whole, I can say the president have not done so well, but we appreciate the little he has done, but we still need more from him. As Oliver Twist in the place of Oliver Twist, we still ask for more. And if you look at it, you will see that the judgment is before all of us, and the judgment is so glaring. For the past how many days that they have been talking about 1 year anniversary across Nigeria, you see the president has only commissioned projects being executed by just one minister. That is the minister of FCT. And that is the only minister that have invited the president to commission projects. And it's too low. Far below average. So if I am to rate the president's administration for this 1 year administration, I can put it in the rate of 1 to 10. I will give him 2%, which is far below average.
That is a very low mark.
From the look of things, we'll see that in the time to come, there will be better things for Nigerians. And I pray the passion he has, he extend that to the ministers who are adjudicating and executing projects on his behalf as the chief executive. He has said it, that any minister that is seen not to be performing, he is ready to sack you. And me, I was even expecting that that 29th, he will make certain announcements of some ministers being sacked. But that was not what we saw, because majority of the ministers, he has the highest number of ministers so far in the history of this country. Yes. And if you calculate how much they have spent for personal services, vehicle fueling, all some of these impress in the office, if you put everything together, it's too huge. Too huge for one to see such thing being wasted, and you are not meting any punishment on the ones who are not performing. Nigerians are expecting that, personally I expected that the president would make certain announcement, sacking some ministers, sacking, not just telling you to resign, sacking them, giving them that punishment. But he has not done it, but still not late. We want him to do that because Nigerians are expecting so high from him.
Yeah, right, exactly. Okay, while we are expecting, so Mr. President, you have so many expectations on you, so we hope you don't disappoint Nigeria. Now let's quickly take this headline from the Nigerian Tribune. It says, local government autonomy, Supreme Court gives governor 7 days to file defense. So Mr. President, you have so many expectations on you, so we hope you don't disappoint Nigeria. Now let's quickly take this headline from the Nigerian Tribune. It says, local government autonomy, Supreme Court gives governor 7 days to file defense. Now, this local government autonomy case has been going on for a while. Do you think this is a? Do you think this step is a good step to local governments funds and everything that has to, giving the local government the power that is supposed to be for the local governments and that of the state governments? Do you see this as a meaningful impact?
These are some of the things that made some of us to have this special love for the president. The president is somebody that is coming from the grassroots. He knows the feelings of the electorate at the grassroots. And as ex-governor, 1999 to 2007, he knows the feelings of the people at the local level, and he knows how the local government administration in Nigeria has been underrated by state governors. And during his time, he was denied the local government fund by President Olusegun Obasanjo. And that was when he looked inward to increase taxes and face taxes and generate revenue internally to enable him cater for the local government in Lagos State. It was after Obasanjo's administration that he was able to get the money back. So now that the Attorney General is coming from this direction to see how local government fund will be separated from state government fund, that will be the best thing that will happen. The best legacy that the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will leave for Nigerians.
Why did you say it's the best?
I once served as a local government secretary, the number 3 or how many citizens of the local government, and I saw what was happening at the local government level. The state governors, let's say if your local government allocation for the month is 350 million, what they will tell you is how much is the salary scale of your staff within the local government. That time, salary scale of my local government and the local government was around 36 million naira only. Because the highest paid worker within the local government are health workers. And we don't have them much. 110,000, 130,000, 150 highest. The HODs, you pay them, let's say 120, 140. How many of them? At the end, 30-something million naira. And the total allocation from federation account, over 300 million naira. They will give you just that salary, then give you little for impress. The rest is to state government. And you will be incapacitated that you will see projects, local road construction, even community health centers, primary schools, that you are supposed to go and execute projects and do things for the people, serve the people with the little fund that is coming to the local government. They will deny you of all these opportunities to serve your people. At the end, you become a laughing stock before your community. So, if the fund is going directly to local government chairmen, secretaries, DGSs, and all of them, for them to manage, especially the local councillors, representing the different community wards, I think development will go down very well. We are not having development today now because local government is incapacitated. And the state governors, they are not doing anything at the local level. Like this 1-year anniversary in my state, my entire state, local government, there is no stone that was dropped anywhere for project for anything. And not that there are no problems. There are problems. Governance is about solving problems. Yes. That is governance, solving problems. And the problems are too many. Too many. And nobody is solving it. So now, the Attorney General have filed to the Supreme Court for the separation of local government funds. Yes. But the state governors, they have not come to respond to that motion. And that is why the Supreme Court was handicapped yesterday in order to give judgment outrightly. It wasn't fair. If the Supreme Court has given judgment outrightly, it will not be fair. Because there are two major principles of natural justice. One, audi alteram paten, and the other one, nume judice consensual. That is, you cannot be judged in your case. And the other one says, you must hear from both sides of any case before you judge. So, the Supreme Court have heard from the Attorney General, but you've not heard from the governors. So, and that is why the Supreme Court, in its wisdom, has given governors, the Governors Forum now, 7 days to respond. If they refuse to respond, meaning they have admitted everything that the Attorney General have said. And in that case, the Supreme Court will have no blame again given its ruling on the matter. And the way things are now, I can see that that arrangement is coming from the presidency. And since it's coming from the presidency, a majority of the governors, they are governors of the current ruling party. So it will be very difficult for them to challenge the president. And for that reason, and so Uzodinma, who is the governor of Imo State, is the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, or APC Governors Forum, the Progressive Governors Forum. So they will be so handicapped to even to challenge them. And Nigerians will even resist them if they should go to challenge them. Yes. Because we want the autonomy, And if this autonomy is given, the next thing we want the Attorney General to do is to take it off completely from the state governors from conducting local government elections. There shouldn't be anything state independent electoral commission. INEC, the federal INEC, should be the one responsible for the conduct of local government elections in Nigeria. From 1999, that democracy came back again to this country. The first and the best local government election ever conducted since then was the one conducted by the military in 1998. That time in my local government opposition, ANPP won the local government chairman. Right Honorable Chief Otti, he won the election under ANPP. And in the 10 political wards, different political parties won councillors because the election was so free, so fair. The people came out to vote for the candidates of their choice. And if that will happen, the state governors will not have access to the election conducted at the local government level. It means development naturally will come to the grassroots. They should not stop at just taking off the fund from this their joint account something. Yes. They should still take it further by taking it off completely from state governors from conducting local government election. If that is done, in fact, most people, even House of Rep or all this House of Assembly, and that people the local level are too harsh and too struggle to get there. They will not even have time. The interest will be at the local government, who will be the chairman, and the masses will look at you very well that you can deliver. You can give them the better service that they want before they will elect you to be the chairman. Even at the ward level, councillors will sit up. Because if you are not the type that the community wants, they can't elect you. So that is what we want in this country. And if that happens, the burden, because presently now, burden for delivering democratic dividends is so high, so much on the presidency, on the federal government. Once that happens, the body will be reduced. State governors will be doing their own. Right now, both local government fund and state fund going to the state governors, they are just swallowing, taking everything. And nothing is going down to the local level. And every citizen is putting their eyes, interest, attention on the federal government. So it's so wrong.
I get your point. If I get you rightly, this will bring development to local level and infrastructure. Now, let's talk about transparency. Do you think this will shape or this will bring transparency of how public fund is being spent?
It will bring transparency in if there is check and balances. And in democracy all over the world, there are 3 phases of accountability. One is the vertical angle to it. The other one is the horizontal angle to it. And the third one is the diagonal angle. The horizontal angle of accountability in democracy is the one that is between the executive and the legislature. The executive checks the legislature. The legislature checks the executive. The exercises of the executive have been checked. And that is why if you go to National Assembly now, you see committees doing oversight functions on the different agencies and ministries under the presidency, under the executive head. So if the accountability is there, fine. then there will be not much corruption. But when they both the executive, the legislature who is supposed to be supervising the executive SSSs on behalf of the masses, they are corrupt. And if you go to the executive, they are corrupt. And both of them come together to form a kind of balance against the masses. Then there will be nothing like development. And if you go to the vertical aspect of it, that vertical aspect of it comes majorly in democratic setting 4 years. Like in Nigeria now, we conduct election after 4 years. That conduct of the election, the masses have that power. That vertical angle of accountability. It is the masses, the voters, that will check you. You will have elected you, and this is what you are doing there. That is not what we sent you to go and do. Okay, we are waiting for you. In the next election, we will not vote for you again. That is the vertical angle. But in Nigeria, that vertical angle of accountability is being abused by vote buying. Abused by, because they impoverish the masses so much that on the time of the day of election, they will not have any option than to just go for 5,000 and take it and say, go. This is the one that I have got it now. I can bear this for 4 years because of poverty. If that vertical angle of accountability in our democratic setting will be strengthened, I think there will be so much development. And the other part, the other angle, the third angle to it is the diagonal angle. That diagonal is talking about civil society, opposition parties, challenging decisions of government. It is their right as executive officers and as a maybe Speaker of the House of Reps, Senate President, a Speaker of the House of Assembly, or a member of the Parliament to take decisions, even as commissioners and as ministers. It is your right to take that decision, but it is the right of Nigerians whose voices are being heard by these civil society organizations and some party, opposition parties, to say, this decision you have taken, yes, you have taken the decision, but why did you take this decision this way? Explain, just explanation. And that's why you see when a CBN gave the directive of that there should be tax on cyber crime, something.
Levy.
Cyber
security levy.
The civil society organization across Nigeria said, no, it won't work. And before you know it, the presidency have to bow to pressure. So that is the role. That is accountability. But in Nigeria, these three angles, they are not working at all. They are not working at all because of corruption. So that is the problem.
Okay, away from that, let's see what this Kano Emirates emirship Tozu is beginning to turn like political crisis, something like from the way it's going, the former governor and the present governor, the removal of the old emirs and the restraint of the former emir. What would you say regarding to this Kano emirship Tozu? It's beginning to look like political something.
I am from the royal family.
Oh, you're from the royal family?
I'm from a royal family.
Because you have more to tell us.
Traditional institution is so strong and so powerful than any government in Africa.
Is that powerful?
So powerful, so strong. Because in the traditional setting, rules, ethics, norms and values of the society, they are not written. They are unwritten. There is no constitution within this traditional setting.
Okay.
No written constitution.
So how did they operate?
But they know it. It's unwritten, but they know it. It is a norm within the traditional setting that if you see your elder, while sitting down, you have to stand up. And it is a norm within the traditional setting that you don't sleep with a married woman. It is a norm within the traditional setting that you don't steal.
Okay.
And if you do, the law is that they can even banish you from the community. But the traditional institution in Nigeria currently, during the time of military administration, the traditional institution was so strong because they complement with the military government. And they allow them to carry out their functions at the local level. And that is when you see that at the local level, there were no much crisis, no much crime. Because they will pick you up. Once any new person enter any community in those days, in our palace, once you enter a community, the person you come to visit, if you have to sleep, you have to go and report to the traditional ruler. I have a visitor, I have a guest. The person came from so place, and he comes, this is the mission. He will spend so days, or she will spend so days. The community will be aware, so that they don't see you. Once they sight strange person in the community, they know. So what is happening in Kano? I think it has turned political.
Exactly.
And they have to withdraw their hand. Any politician that has hand in what is happening in Kano should remove their hand. Why we are having it so bad now is because we politicians don't allow the kingmakers to even elect who lead them as traditional ruler at the local level. It's the politicians who single-handedly on their own appointing who would be the traditional ruler. And that's why there's no respect again. Some of them who are political appointees, the community people see them as just salary earners.
Oh, wow.
They don't lead them.
Okay.
They don't see them as their leader.
But
they don't take order from them. But if you allow them, because in every kindred, they have kingmakers representing every kindred that meet maybe 5 days. After every 5 days in my community, they meet with the traditional, the king of the community to decide issues as it occurs within the community. Issues of marriage, issues of land dispute, issues of crime, and all of those things. They decide it. And once they take the decision, if you take the matter before, after that point to court, they will follow you there. That this person is the wrong person. They will follow you there, and you will still not have your way in court. That is how it is. But today, they have over-abused traditional institutions. Now, the Kano Emirate, very respected emirate in Nigeria. I grew up to know that. And the entire emirate system in the north, they are so strong. Even when the British people came to Nigeria for colonization, when they came to colonize Nigeria, before they were able to capture Nigeria, they first went through the north.
Emirs,
It was the emirs, the district heads, the emirs, because the people already have that respect, they have that bond. They went through the emirs and they captured the north before they even went to the west, to the east. It was so difficult because they don't have a central leadership like in the north and the west. They don't have central leadership. So politicians should remove their hands. And now, majority both of them, like a Ganduje group and the Kwankwaso group. The Kwankwaso group has successfully taken over the political leadership of the state. Now the Ganduje group, they are resisting that the Kwankwaso group cannot have both political leadership of the state and the traditional leadership of the state. And both of them know the strength of the traditional leadership of that Kano. The traditional leadership of Kano is even more stronger
than the political
leadership. The governor is under the emir, according to their tradition. So it's 2027. But they should leave all of that and face governance. They should leave all of that and consider the masses first. Because it's the masses that will suffer all of this. Taking this one to court, this one going to court, the money the governor will be spending in court now will be used for other things, other developmental issues within the state. So I am pleading that politicians who have hands in what is going on in Kano should remove their hand. They know how the emirate system works in Kano. And the splitting of that emirate system, just like what happened in the Soviet Union, 1991, when the Soviet Union was disintegrated. Until today now, they are not together. The West, the NATO group led by the US, they are suppressing them, and they don't want even Russia that is trying to rise again. They say you can't rise again, you can never be a hegemon within that zone. They have splitted them, divide and rule. And if the emirate system is one, I think it will be more stronger than splitting them. And that is what they that know the value of that strength within the Emirate system. That's why they have to pick the pieces all together and bring them back together again. Say we should be one, just like it was before. That time the respect was so high, but the moment it was splitted, the respect was everything was somehow. So they should allow them to manage their traditional administration the way that suits them. External bodies should remove their hands from what is going on in Kano. I am blaming the external forces and not the people of Kano in what is going on.
All right, away from that, let's see some political crisis again. This one will be coming from River State. This River State crisis has long overdue, even after President Bola Tinubu has intervened. We thought, you know, the intervention of Mr. President was going to just let everything be, but it has continued. And just on this headline, it says, court declares 25 pro-Wike lawmakers seat vacant. This political River State political crisis that has long overdue. What do you think is the way forward? Do you think who do you think is to be blamed here? Do we blame the FCT minister Wike, who some persons think or feel he's still trying to stay relevant in the River State political system, or the current governor?
None of them. I can't blame Wike. I cannot blame the governor. All of them, they are matured. And the elected House of Assembly members who defected to APC too, they are matured, and they knew why they took that decision. And they knew that if the decision was taken, there was going to be consequences. But to me, they have not seen such consequences meted on anybody before in the past. And that's why they stood up to take that decision. And to them again, the current, their leader, who is Wike, is aligning with the current leadership of the APC, and to them, any force from up that will make them lose their seat, Wike will resist it. And that was one of another point down. That could be another point again that made them to take that decision. If not, it's in the law that once you defect, the position is not your own. You only fly the flag of the party to run the election. It is not your own. The vote was delivered to your party and not to you as an individual. So if you are leaving the party, you are equally leaving the vote and the position for the party. So as they have defected from PDP to APC, the law says you cannot go with the position because you did not run the election as an independent candidate. That is what is going on there. It's a legal matter. It's law. But if they bring political solution to it, fine and good. And the person who will bring that political solution to is the governor, who will implement it. Once the law have said, they have pronounced them null, but that they are no longer member of the house. It's when the governor still recognize them as members of the house that they will be members of the house, and then the governor is not on their side. So for that reason, the fight will keep going on. The only option left for them now is to see how they will use legal solution to resolve their problem. It's only legal solution. Then if they have PDP to their side again and said, yes, they defected, but now that they are member, they are our member. And for the fact that they are our member, they still maintain their seat. They can still go back to PDP. They can still defect. It's still defection. They can still go back to PDP. And if they have the facts before them that there was crisis in PDP before they left, then no law is holding them. But if there are no crisis within your party, if there's crisis in your party, you can use that as an opportunity to say there's crisis in my party and that is why I'm leaving the party. Okay. That one, the law is clear for you. You cannot be held responsible. But if there's no crisis, now PDP, there's some of the PDP members who are on the side of Fubara, they are saying that there was no crisis in PDP. They just left. There was no crisis, no division in the party. But them say there was division in the party.
But the People Democratic Party, that's the PDP, has been going some sort of political crisis even before now, right from the time during.
There's serious split in the party. Even
exactly.
Today, they have not come together. Before the election, 2023 election, they had I think 3 different groups. The 5 governors group.
Yes.
I think Atiku's group. And which other group again? Okay, Obi pulled out.
Okay, yes.
Obi pulled out completely from PDP. So that is the 3 division. Obi pulled out. Then 5 governors who pulled out of Atiku clique. And that was what happened. Until today, they are still not seen to be together. There is still division within the party. Because the national chairman of the party that was suspended, that is Yochi Ayu, he has not been recalled. The person there now is acting. There is no substantive chairman of national chairman of PDP. So the house is not in order. To be frank, the house is not in order. And in such a situation, you cannot see yourself as a politician who have future, and allow yourself to remain in such murky environment and to dent your image like a pig. So I think if they can hang on to that point, they can make their way in court.
But these things seem to have been linked to godfatherism issue.
This is godfatherism. This is godfatherism, and I like what is happening to the governors, the past governors, who always go as far as even killing some people to ensure that the preferred candidate, a person of their choice, take over from them. And now majority of them, they are seeing it so bad that, like, if you go to Kaduna, El-Rufai did everything to bring Ubasani as governor. But Ubasani is probing El-Rufai today. See Rivers. Wike did everything. He even put 1 House of Rep members in cell, whether in prisons. Yes. He even put 1 of them in cell. That one has a good political image to champion the cause. But for the fact that Wike doesn't want him, he did everything to ensure that the one he wants is the one that came on board. And he successfully handed over power to Fubara. But today, look at Fubara fighting him. Now, go to Benue State. Akume, the current SGF, His Excellency, Senator George Akume, he did everything. Former national chairman of PDP, Gemade, former Attorney General of the Federation, Ondaka, big, strong Nigerians from Benue State who ventilated their interest to contest the governor under APC. Akume did everything and pushed them aside and brought the current governor of Benue State, His Excellency Reverend Father Isaac Talia. He brought him from nowhere and gave him this power. Today, he's fighting him. I read on the online last night where David, His Excellency, the former governor of Ebonyi State and current Minister of Works, lamenting in Ebonyi State in one function. Say all the people
that he brought,
all the people he brought to power,
have disappointed him.
No, they are avoiding him today. He only commented good on the Senator Onyekachinwe Ebonyi. That is the only person that still sees him as his father. The rest of the persons, even like from that statement, meaning even the governor, doesn't see him again as his father. But that he's not regretting. You get it? So, lamentation everywhere. If you go to Cross River, you see the speaker of Cross River. There's crisis in Rivers House of Assembly. Impeachment of the speaker.
The speaker.
I think it's orchestrated by the governor. Maybe the immediate past governor brought the speaker, and the current governor now is not comfortable with him. You get it? So he has to get rid of him. It's all over. So what I will advise the current governors who are enjoying this style of betrayal, backstabbing, that the black pot should know, is it the black pot calling the new pot waiting? That what has happened to the black pot will still happen to them. They are seeing themselves as new now.
White pots. They have no stain.
They will still be stained. So I am advising them that when the time is there for them to conduct elections for replacement, they should leave the platform open. The best among all the aspirants within your party should emerge. Don't support anyone. They are all people of from your state. They are citizens. They are members of your party from your state. They are all contributing their quota to the growth and development of the party within the state. And if the party give them the ticket and the members of the party give them the ticket, they allow them to go for general election, for the general public to assess them through their vote. Don't have any preferred candidate. Because if you don't have preferred candidate, anyone that will emerge will respect you more. Will give you more respect than when you have preferential interest on someone and the other ones already they are your enemy because they know that you hate them. Look at Edo State. Eh? So it's everywhere. So I think the current governor should learn lessons from what is happening, what they are doing to their predecessors. They should learn lessons, serious lessons from what they are doing to their predecessors. And again, they should focus on governance instead of politics. Right. They should focus on governance.
Yes. Now, let's quickly take this story because our time is fast spent. In a sad occurrence, the largely sit-at-home order by the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, is causing tension in Southeast. As a matter of fact, some soldiers have been killed by yet to be identified gunmen who attacked them by the Abia main motor park along Asa Road in Abia State. Now the question is, this sit-at-home has long overdue, and we as a nation, we are talking of bringing in foreign investors, development, infrastructure, and all that. But looking at what is happening from the Southeast, you talk about Ebonyi, Imo State, Anambra State, and now the Abia State. Who is going to save us from all of this? The bloodshed, everything, it's been too much. It's been long overdue. How do you think this administration should best address it? Because these agitators are agitating for the release of their leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and it has lingered to every time sit at home. You can imagine, okay, yesterday or today was supposed to be the mathematics for WAEC students, but that couldn't happen. I even read that some had to sleep in the school for them to be able to, because of the seats at home. What is the way forward from this menace that has bestowed on Southeast?
It's not just Southeast per se.
It's not. We have insecurity.
I understand.
As a general
What is happening is not about Southeast.
So what is
no Nigerian should take what is happening to be a problem of the Southeastern.
Okay.
Is a problem that is before all of us as a nation. The Nigerian military, the uniform they wear is the symbol of the country. It's our national symbol. And if you look at it all over the world, hardly you see a citizen, any citizen of any country, dehumanizing their military. You are not dehumanizing the person you think is the Nigerian army, but you are dehumanizing, you are denting the image of your country. You are not a true citizen. Anyone who indulges in such acts, you are not supposed to be called a citizen. And I think they should be denied citizenship.
Is that the best to address? Is that the best way to address?
Now, in Nigeria, you talk about investors. Our police officers, our police department, they have been overwhelmed by the insecurity. The only option left for us now as a nation is the army. And if we can be seeing Nigerian army being killed like chicken on the street on daily basis, The other day I watched on national television where some miscreants in Use 2 Barnes Plaza beating the Nigerian army. The man was running helplessly. It's a very terrible image, very terrible thing to see. And it went viral to the global society. It's not speaking good of us at all. Meaning we have no security here. And the other time, when US made attempt to bring a military base to Nigeria, majority of Nigerians kicked against it, even myself. I kicked against it because that will be the highest level of imperialism. We should have that strength as a country to defend ourselves. There are no war anywhere, no external aggression. Then within among us, internally, we'll be killing our military.
But this one that is happening in the southeast, I think there is a
the case of Nnamdi Kanu is already before the law. And you cannot, the only thing they have to do now is not military action. Soft power approach. They have to use soft power strategy, no military strategy. What they are using is military. And they are indirectly telling the people in power that if you release Nnamdi Kanu, we will still carry out the IPOB arrangement that you have tagged to not to be good. Why Nnamdi Kanu is there is because of the activities that they are carrying out in the southeast. And they see Nnamdi Kanu as their leader, who is gingering them to do all of that. And that is why they have arrested him. Not that Nnamdi Kanu went on the road for robbery. Not that Nnamdi Kanu went to sleep with anybody's wife. It's because Nnamdi Kanu is leading their agitation. And so now that their leader is before the government, facing prosecution, the best thing for them to do is to use soft power approach, talking to their political leaders. And now, they have leaders from the southeast who have a good relationship with the current government. And that is the best angle I think they can take it. And the Deputy Speaker of House of Representatives is not doing badly in that direction. Most leaders from the southeast, they are not doing badly. Most political leaders from the southeast, they are not doing badly. They are speaking in that direction. Gochinyere, the House of Representatives from Imo State, is doing a lot too. So they should allow their leaders to carry out this political approach that they are using to see how Nnamdi Kanu will be released. Killing Nigerian army is not the solution. That will increase the problem. And it will not be good. And now, going to the southeast, the current governors we have in the southeast, they are doing exceedingly well. I think in the next 4 years, 3 to 4 years, the southeast will be the economic hub of Nigeria. Go to Enugu. The governor have revitalized everything. Both water system, environmental and sanitation, everything, infrastructure. Go to Anambra. Soludo. What I saw yesterday baffles. In fact, over how many thousand hectares of lands designed as industrial zone in Anambra. And not just that, it's just designed the land. Infrastructure went on in the place
immediately, and
they are producing massively, even cable and many other things. So they have they have session for drugs. They have another session for plastics. They have another session for different things in that zone. That's the best, and they are not producing just for Nigerians. They are producing for the world. The first time that Nigeria will have such. Go to Abia State and see what the governor Otti is doing.
Yes.
So the entire governors within the southeast, they are in competition for progress, for development. So this IPOB of a thing should not come in this line to weaken their spirit, because it will not be good. What is happening in the southeast is equally increasing the revenue of Nigeria.
Exactly.
Because any production going on in the southeast, Nigeria federal government will have their own cut out of it.
Exactly.
So it's helping all of us. Unemployment generation again.
Exactly.
They have good number of graduates that have no job. Federal government have not been able to give job to them. Now that the governors are directing their state resources towards infrastructure, towards industrialization, that will be another source of employment for their people.
Exactly.
So they should please drop their guns. But those who have done that, the people who perpetrated that act in killing the military, if they can get them, they should not face wrong people.
The law.
They should not face wrong people. If the military is going for retaliation, they should not face innocent citizens. They should go straight to the people who have done that and pick them and make them to face the law. Nigeria is too big for us to insult.
All right. Thank you so much thank you so much for joining me in the studio this morning. It's been a wonderful time spent with you.
It's my pleasure, and I'm happy for the invitation.
Thank you so much. All right, viewers.